Calling to order the regular meeting of the Wheeling Plan Commission for Wednesday, June 10th, 2020. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Commissioner Kalis, can you hear me?
I can now, yeah.
Okay.
Sounded like it was going silent.
All right, go ahead with the roll call, please.
Commissioner Blanova.
She is absent with prior notice.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Sprague.
Here.
Commissioner Kalis is here. Commissioner Yednick.
Present.
Commissioner Creech.
Present.
Commissioner Thompson.
She is also absent with prior notice.
Thank you. And Chairman Johnson.
I am here.
All righty.
Ms. Nyes, any changes to the agenda tonight?
No changes.
No changes. Next up is citizens' concerns and comments. If anyone in the audience here wishes to speak on something other than the docket items that are before us? No? Ms. Nyes, did we get any phone-ins or
We did not.
emails? Okay. We had no consent items tonight for change. So we'll go right into the items for review. Docket number 2020-6, GNP Fitness, special use for a recreation facility at 303 Messner. Mr. Secretary?
Yes, we have a public hearing information. Docket 2020-6, GNP Fitness Incorporated lessee is seeking a special use as required by Title 19 zoning of the Wheeling Municipal Code, Chapter 19-07 Industrial Districts, Chapter 19-10 Use Regulations and associated sections in order to permit a recreation and instruction facility located at 303 Messner Drive, which is zoned I-2 Limited Industrial. And a special use, as defined in the zoning code, is a use of parcel of land that requires review of and consideration before approval due to the potential for negative impacts on surrounding properties. In order to be considered for a special use, the petitioner is required to demonstrate through testimony to the Plan Commission at a public hearing that the request meets the standards of the village code, including but not limited to how the proposed use will not damage the enjoyment or use of the surrounding properties. Prior to the public hearing, the petitioner provides written statements meant to show that their request meets the standards for the special use as established in Title 19. The commission chairperson will typically direct that these statements be entered into record without a full reading of them at the hearing. Based upon the testimony and supporting materials submitted, the Plan Commission will make findings in support of or against the petitioner's testimony and report these findings to the village board.
Thank you. Ms. Nyes, anything on this before we call the petitioner up?
Just real general. The reason why this is in front of you today is because they're looking to operate a recreation and instruction facility in the I-2 zoning district. And the recreation and instruction facility, in order to have more than 12 individuals in the facility, requires a special use permit.
Thank you. Is the petitioner here for this?
You can come on. You can come on.
Come on up. And I'll have to swear in anyone that's going to speak on this.
Yes.
So,
Okay, I'm Mary's husband. My name is John Fallon.
You can come up.
somebody come up. and you can all raise your right hand, and do you swear the testimony you're giving tonight to be the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Now you can give us your name and business address for the record.
Okay, my name is John Fallon. I am Neri Lopez's husband, and Gloria Delgado is her partner.
My business partner.
Right. And do you want us to just read the mission statement? Or should I just explain a little bit
Just-
about?
you can
know,
just explain.
It was a franchise that was failing, and Nuri and Gloria got involved to take over that franchise and, and to get their business license, et cetera, and proceed. Do you want the mission statement?
Sure.
It's, briefly, it's empowering our community through fitness and nutrition to inspire them to make a transformation in all areas of their lives. So it's an exercise, nutrition, lifestyle change. It's like an LA Fitness, a junior LA Fitness,
Gotcha.
except there's no pool. So the building was, had been a prior franchise, and everything was done prior to them going in. So there are no changes being made?
Oh, so this was existing in that building already?
Correct.
I guess I didn't know that. Okay, this is a public hearing. If there's anyone in the audience that wishes to speak on this other than the petitioners? Nope, okay. Was there anything else you wanted to add before we go to the commission?
I don't think so. Anything else you can think of?
No.
And we didn't have any calls or write-ins on this either?
We did not.
Okay. So we will go to the commission. Let's start with Commissioner Creech.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I really don't have any questions. It seems like they're just taking over a franchise that has gone under, and the only thing that they're changing is the amount of people that they're going to have there. Is that correct?
I believe, as it stands currently, the limit is 12 people at a time.
Correct.
Do you sometimes have more than 12?
Normally, right now, we have only, the government say 10 people when we have the license. The place is really big. I mean, we have a good space to put the 9 feet away each person, means we okay in that. After phase 4 or phase 5, we can put 10, 12 people, 2, 3 people more. But it's means good space.
Well, do you often have more than 12, or do you ever have any more than 12?
Normally it's 10, 12 people, no more.
So what would be the maximum, though?
Pardon?
What would be the maximum?
300. 300 for, the place is good for 300.
Oh, yeah, no.
When it's regular, when it's.
No,
with
it's
the,
300,
you
no.
know.
It's, normally
This
it's
would be-
like
this would
for
be per
20
class,
people
right?
per class. But,
That's what-
it's a lot of class during the day. It's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 a.m. Everything, the class is with professional trainers. Everybody has certification, means no everybody's going to be at the same time anyway because everybody work, right? Means we try to do in this one because it's a boot camp, no it's a regular gym. It's a boot camp. Each class is, like I say, is with trainers. Means.
Boot camp is the theme. The theme is like a boot camp.
Yes,
And, and they often, with trainers and staff, they most likely don't have more than 15 people.
Okay.
So these are staggered classes, I take it?
Staggered, correct.
And how long are the classes?
45 minutes, sir.
Okay. It sounds reasonable to me. That's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Commissioner Sprague.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have no questions for this. Thank you.
Commissioner Kalis.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you for presenting and looking to take over a business and get it going again. I have a question about parking. It said there was going to be no changes in parking, but because parking zoning is based on square footage, is that correct? Or people per, how is parking not affected if there's going to be more people in the building?
The building, we have a,
Are you asking us?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
no, it's okay.
I think that's for staff.
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to think. It is I think it's based on square footage. Hold on, off the top of my head, I can't.
Right, it's a combination of zoning and square footage
Yeah,
and.
the use and square footage,
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah.
I was just, so if that's true, I guess you could just see a possible issue if there's going to be more than 12 people and we're not looking at the parking situation as we've seen in the village.
Yeah, it's based on square footage. It's not based on the number of people.
So how, I guess this is a question of the petitioner then. Well, do we know how many parking spots are allotted to this suite? I didn't see it in the notes, but does anybody know? I guess I don't need to know the exact number, except it's usually highlighted in our packet, but I'm just assuming if there's people, being a member of a gym which has had parking problems big time in another village, I'm a little cautious of increasing the amount of people that are being allowed, and that's the whole purpose of the special use, and not looking at the parking situation.
Bullet point 5 in the standards for special use talks a little bit about parking, but it doesn't specify how many spaces.
Yeah, I wouldn't even think parking would be, directly correlated to a special use necessarily. I don't know, but it's just if there's 30 people instead of 12 because they're alternating the shifts, the boot camps, it's something to think about. It's going to affect the neighbors.
Yeah, we did not have a breakdown of how many parking spaces were allotted to each unit. The facility has a very large parking area, and with the amount of classes they had staggered throughout the day, we didn't think that would be a problem. But I was incorrect. The recreation facility is based on the number of clients.
Okay. So even more so, should we, I don't know.
Do you know how many parking spots were
Yeah, the
allotted?
building have a lot of parking spots.
About 30?
Yeah, I think more.
Maybe more.
More than
But the thing is, for us, it's 10. But at the time, the hours, and we have the classes is 5, 6, 8, and 9 a.m. Means everybody in that building open at 9 a.m. Means we already finished. Means
Right.
when we open, nobody's there from the another spots, the another units, because nobody's gonna open at 5 a.m., only the gyms.
Right, and then you have classes later.
Yeah, and at
afterward.
5 p.m., in the afternoon, at 5 p.m., everybody closed too. Means all parking spot is for us.
Everything's
Thank you.
open.
We don't have no problem for that with the owner.
Never know.
Okay. I guess my concern is if we don't put a cap, as a business policy, if you don't put a cap on the amount of people per session, you say it's 8, 9, 10, 12, something around there, but it's all kind of guessing. What if you expand to 20 and then 25, and I would like you to grow, that's the goal. But it's always an issue in these plazas where there's a parking contention when businesses grow like that, that's reliant on clients. That would be my main concern. I'm surprised with the history of parking variances and issues in the village that this wasn't discussed previously. I don't know, Marcy, is this something that you can work with them to establish some limits, or I don't know, do we establish the limits of how many people per session, how many sessions per hour, and based on their parking? I don't know how the best way to do it would be, but I
think in other situations, because of the hours, like they said, that's where we have not specified, limited the number of people in the classes, because they are using the parking spaces before and after other businesses are using them in that same unit.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, this is a public hearing. I suppose if any of the neighbors found out about it and had an issue with this, that they would be here. So I always fall back on that, but, unless I don't know, if anyone else has any desire to pursue establishing some sort of standard here, then I just thought I'd bring it up. One other question regarding, it's somewhat related to parking. Have you guys considered restriping the picture I saw of the stripes where they were really faded? Have you looked into restriping or repaving? I'm not sure how the parking lot is, and it's obviously a thing with the owner of the building. I think you're probably just leasing.
Correct.
But we'd like to get those stripes restriped so that people know what the spots are. If they're faded, have you looked into that at all?
You're asking us?
Yes,
The petitioner, yeah.
The commissioner?
petitioner.
Oh, petitioner, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, again, we're lessees, the owner of the property would be, responsible for that. We can ask him if he wants to do it, if you want us to do that.
Right, so typically when people come in to put in a business or take over a business, it is the owner's building and parking lot, but because you're going to be representing that space, we like to cover these details. So working with staff of Wheeling and also the owner of the building, I think it would be a good idea to look into getting that restriped, just because it's pretty faded. So that would be my suggestion. So
Agreed.
that was it. Parking and restriping. I love that you guys are taking over business and going to make it successful. I wish you all the best of luck. And that's all the questions I have. Thank you.
Great, Joe. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Yednick.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner, or Chairman. Yeah, just to throw in on the parking, I went and looked at the Google Maps, and it looks like there's probably about 80 spaces in front of the building and about another 20 on each side of the building, and maybe four to five tenants. So that's a lot of parking. Whatever time they took the Google Maps satellite image, parking lot's mostly empty. The only question that I had, and I didn't have a question originally, is, and this might be more for Mallory, but when it says that the necessity for the request is because the existing business had a maximum occupancy of 12 people, which was permitted in that zoning area, in the industrial zoning district, but now this new business is pushing for more people than 12, but then during the petitioner's testimony, they were saying they're really only going to be about 12 at a time. So is this request even necessary, or was there some misunderstanding between the request and the actual need?
I think that, and the petitioner can clarify or correct me if I'm wrong, is that it allows for the flexibility to have more than 12 in a class so that the class size could be larger. I believe one of the statements was that the max it could be is 20. And there might have been some misunderstanding because right now under phase 3, there can only be 10 people in classes. But when we get out of these phases and we're back into normal operations, I believe they'd their space is large enough to allow larger class sizes than 12.
I'm disregarding the COVID situation.
Yeah.
That's not what we're looking at long term. But I'm just, I guess, so if that's true, then maybe the petitioner can clarify that not taking COVID into consideration, it sounds like they want to expand beyond what the existing business is, and that's the necessity for the additional special use. Is that the case?
Is that?
I would say yes.
Yes?
And I just wanted to clarify that the 12 individuals includes clients and employees, so it's total number of persons in the facility.
So it's an expansion in any event?
Yeah, it's not just 12 people in a class, it includes everybody.
Okay, all right. That's all. I just wanted clarification. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. I think my questions have been answered. Do we know what's in the neighboring businesses?
Yeah, and next to
Food
us
supply.
is the food supply for the schools.
Oh,
They
okay.
have a big warehouse, they working every day, and it's really good, they are really good neighbor with us, you know. And the next store is carpet, they change carpets.
Oh, they are sold
Oh.
carpets, I don't know exactly.
Duncan Flooring Specialist, and then Micro Measurement Laboratories is on the east end of the building, at least
Okay.
according to Google Satellite.
Thank you. Yeah, that's all the questions I had. Any other questions from the commission? No? Ms. Nyes, are there any conditions on this?
No conditions.
I have a quick question. Is the restriping something that staff can work with the petitioner and the building? Like, how does it work where if we are recommending they look into getting that done, is that
Yeah,
something
that's-
staff can assist with?
That's been difficult for us to put on the petitioner, especially when they're the leasee and they're not
Right.
the property owner. So
Okay.
I think they can ask the owner, but I don't believe we should be putting that as a special condition.
Yeah, I wasn't suggesting a condition, so I just wanted
okay.
to see what the process, like administrative process was after the fact. So whatever that is, if you guys can just at least ask, I think that'd be a good idea. That's all.
Okay.
All right, there are no conditions, so I would ask for a motion to approve docket 2020 dash, what was it, 6?
Sprague, did you say?
Yes.
All right, I'll second. So, Commissioner Sprague,
Yes.
Commissioner Kalis votes yes. Commissioner Yednick,
Yes.
Commissioner Creech,
Yes.
Chairman Johnson.
Yes.
Okay, 5 yeses.
And staff will be forwarding the paperwork?
Yes, so you'll, this recommendation will now move on to the full village board. I think July
6th? No,
July 15th?
July 15th?
No, July 6th.
July 6th.
Yeah, July 6th, so I'll send you the information for that, and it'll be the same type of format.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
so that's-
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks again, appreciate it, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
And now I'll ask for a motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Creech,
Yes.
Commissioner Kalis votes yes. Commissioner Sprague,
Yes.
Commissioner Yednick,
Yes.
Chairman Johnson.
Yes. All right, moving on to docket 2020-9, Moli Day Spa, special use for a massage establishment at 1049 Lake Cook Road. Mr. Secretary?
Yes, this is a public hearing, 2020-9, Hope Angel Corporation, DBA Moli Day Spa lessee is seeking a special use as required in Title 19 zoning of the Wheeling Municipal Code, Chapter 19-06, Commercial Districts, Chapter 19-10, Use Regulations and Associated Sections, in order to establish a massage establishment located at 1049 Lake Cook Road. And a special use, as defined by the zoning code, is the use of parcel of land that requires review and consideration before approval due to the potential for negative impacts on surrounding properties. In order to be considered for a special use, the petitioner is required to demonstrate through testimony to the Plan Commission at a public hearing that the request meets the standards of the village code, including but not limited to how the proposed use will not damage the enjoyment or use of the surrounding properties. Prior to the public hearing, the petitioner provides written statements meant to show that their requests meet the standards for special use as established in Title 19. The commission chairperson will typically direct that these statements be entered into a record without a full reading of them at the hearing. Based upon the testimony and supporting materials submitted, the Plan Commission will make findings in support of or against the petitioner's testimony and report these findings to the village board.
Thank you. Ms. Nyes, anything on this?
I just wanted to give a brief introduction that the petitioner is here before you to request a special use, which is required in order to establish a massage establishment in the B2 Neighborhood Commercial Zoning District. In their application, they had noted that the shopping center has adequate parking in both the front and the back. We put a special condition, in there. That's fine. We added a special condition that parking is only allowed in the front as for massage establishments. You're only allowed to have an entrance in the front.
That is not a problem.
And that was all I had.
Okay. Please introduce yourself. Oh, I have to swear you in first. Do you swear the testimony you're giving tonight to be the truth?
Yes, I do.
State your name and business address.
Sure. My name is Won Sun Kim. I'm an attorney representing Moli Day Spa, to be owned and operated by Hope Angel Corporation. The location of this proposed establishment is 1049 Lake Cook Road. It is a commercial shopping center. We are hoping to, if approved, use one of the 3 vacant spaces that are within that shopping center. We will be offering deep tissue massages, hot stone massages, acupressure massages, Thai stretch massages, Swedish foot massage, aromatherapy, and the establishment is such that a couple, husband and wife, daughter and mother, 2 girlfriends, 2 guy friends, could go into a massage therapy session together. So we have one room where a couple could have the session together. And we have 2 single rooms for, when I go to a massage establishment with my mother-in-law, she never wants to be in the same room with me. So even if we're together, we may still have the option of using an individual room. We are hoping that it would be a family-friendly establishment so that the neighboring families, husband and wives, like I said, daughter and mother and friends can have a relaxing time there. It will be limited to 3, clients at a time because we have 3 licensed massage therapists. We'll be open from 10 to 9 on weekdays and on Sunday, well, I guess I should say, from Monday through Saturday, 10 to 9, and on Sunday, it'll be from 11 to 9 or 11 to 8. There are 127 parking spaces. It's sufficient. It's more than sufficient to allow all the other establishments as well as this establishment to use the parking spaces. We will not be looking to do any modifications to the outside nor the parking uses or entrances. This particular shopping center backs into a fence which divides this shopping center and the neighborhood. There's a residential area in the back, but because it is fenced, there's no need or ability for the customers to drive through the neighborhood to get into this establishment. The ingress and egress is already set at this shopping center, and the neighboring businesses are establishments such as carry-out Chinese food, pizza, cell phone, nail shop, Starbucks, and various other establishments.
Anything else?
No, unless you had other questions.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
Okay.
Again, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience that wanted to speak on this? No? Again, any call-ins or write-ins?
No.
Okay. Then we'll go to the commissioners, and we'll start with Commissioner Yednick this time.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Not really any questions. This is walkable from my condo, so I'm very familiar with this mall. So if I go down there and have to walk back, I might have rubber legs after a good massage, but I'm familiar with it. Actually, it'd be nice to get some more buildings in this plaza. I know there's, like the petitioner mentioned, there's 3 vacancies right now, and I think they've had a hard time keeping some tenants. So it'd be nice to fill up the plaza. No questions. Thank you.
Commissioner Sprague.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I have just one question, and it's probably for staff more than it is for the petitioner. I noticed in the codes for massage establishments under facility requirements, it's asking for bathrooms for both men and women. And I'm noticing that there's only one bathroom on the print for the site.
Could I bring up the site plan? Luca, thank you.
There's one bathroom
Yeah,
all the
I
way
see that.
existing.
Yeah, I'm not sure how,
In the
if
codes,
that's allowed.
I can read it if you want me to.
If you've got it handy, go
Sure.
ahead.
It says when employees and patrons of different sexes are on the premises at the same time, separate toilet facilities shall be provided for each sex.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that would be caught at the, unfortunately, at the permit, the building permit phase. So, I don't know.
My client and the architect tried to find out whether one bathroom was needed for each sexes. We don't have a problem adding another bathroom. We wanted to make sure that it was a comfortable situation for our clients, and if we need to add another bathroom, that is not a problem at all.
Okay,
There is space there.
there's space,
Yeah.
okay.
So that would just be an added condition then?
Yeah, yes.
We can do that with a condition. They wouldn't have to come back.
Yeah, you can do the condition, they don't have to come back, because that is something that will be confirmed at inspection with the permitting, and the building code and the health inspection, to make sure that it meets that portion of the code. But we can add it to our condition so that the floor plan will reflect it. Since
Other than that, that's all I have. Thank you.
Commissioner Creech.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening. I have a couple questions. You mentioned that there's licensing involved for the massage therapist. Is this through the Department of Financial and Professional Regulations, State of Illinois?
Yes, it is.
And can you tell us a little bit about, what they need to do to get this license?
They have to be educated, they have to be licensed, and even though they are licensed by the state of Illinois, the Village of Wheeling will be doing their background checks, fingerprinting, to make sure that there's no issues with their background.
What kind of training are they required to have to get this licensing? And is there like continuing education or anything that's involved with this licensing?
Let me get back to you in a minute, hold on.
Good catch, Commissioner Sprague. Made me think of something that I should be doing before I look at these, review some of the code.
It was last minute catch, I have to admit.
They have to be in school for 10 months, and during that 10-month period, they go through book training, but they also do internships of actually going through the means and the methods of training. There is continuing legal education because every year their license has to be renewed, and they need 24 hours of additional education for them to renew their license each year.
And I can follow up, Commissioner Creech, just as you said, the Illinois Department of Financial Regulation licenses the individual massage therapists. The village does not license them. It's a state license. This village then would issue a business license for the applicant, and one of the requirements is having state licensed massage therapists perform massages.
Thank you, Mallory. I thought we spoke to this previously, but I wasn't quite sure on, so would the owner have to have the license as well?
If she is performing massages, yes, she would. If she is not performing massages and is just the owner or acting in another capacity, then she would not need one.
Okay, but would the Village of Wheeling be looking at these licenses before giving them a certificate of occupancy?
Yes, before getting a business license, they have to submit the list of all the employees and copies of their either diploma, certificate of graduation, and copies of their licenses, and a list of any other employees. That's all part of the application.
Okay, my other question is this the only establishment that the owners run?
Yes.
Or have?
Yes, this is the only establishment that they own.
This is their first one?
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Let's see, did I have anything left? No, I think my questions have been answered.
Commissioner Kalis did not speak.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't have anything. Creech stole my question. So it was, had you previously run any other locations? So thank you for answering that. I have no questions.
Okay.
Off to you, Chairman.
And I have no further questions. Well, I do. The name Day Spa kind of threw us off a little bit. Normally, that means a place you're going to stay much longer.
It's twofold. It's their first business, and they want it to be more than just a massage therapist. They wanted to do eventually skincare, nail establishment, but it's something that they would have to grow into. And another portion of it, to be really honest, is some of the massage therapists or massage establishments have gotten bad reviews. A few bad apples ruins the whole, segment.
We have a history here.
Yeah, so when I think of massage parlor, I cringe, right? I go to massage places with my husband, and we go there often as a couple, but we always say, let's go to our massage therapist. We never say, let's go to a massage parlor. We didn't want people to be offset by the word massage parlor, and we would eventually like to grow into a day spa where someone could come in, do massage therapy, do aromatherapy, do facial, and do nails and such. But right now, again, it's their first business, so they have limited means, and she is one of the licensed massage therapists. So she will be working there, and eventually they would like to grow and provide more services so that it does become a massage or massage services within a day spa.
So at the point where they're ready to take on these other things, is this site big enough? Or are you saying, once you get the clientele, then you'd be looking for a bigger space.
This space is sufficient. The massage therapist that I go to, she'll do a facial along with a full, full body, head, neck, arm, foot massage. So the rooms that they already have can provide that.
Okay. Any other questions from the commission?
I have a quick question, Chairman. If they do expand their services in the future, does the special use change that would require them to come back for a day spa use?
We'd have to look at the specific uses permitted within that zoning district, but if like a nail salon type service is also a special use in that zoning district, they would need to amend their special use to just add those uses, because this is for massage establishment.
Right.
So it would be a case-by-case basis based on what the uses were in the scope of the code.
Okay, so I guess to the petitioner, in the event that you expand your services, just be aware that it might be worth a conversation with the village to discuss if we need to amend the special use in any way.
We will
so that we
definitely
don't-
remember to do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Nyes, anything in addition?
No.
All right. I'll ask for a motion.
So moved.
Second. Commissioner Yednick?
Yes.
Commissioner Kalis votes yes. Commissioner Sprague?
Yes.
Commissioner Creech?
No.
Chairman Johnson?
No.
Three yeses.
Yeah, that's a positive recommendation.
What was that, Mallory?
It would be a positive recommendation.
Yes.
Yeah,
It will-
because it's
It will go
majority.
to the board as a positive recommendation.
Yep.
Oh, we did forget to read the condition on that.
Would you like me to read?
Yes, please.
The first one was that customer parking shall only occur in the main customer parking lot in front of the tenant space, and any parking in the rear of the building and/or tenant space shall be for the use of employees only. The second is a petitioner to add separate bathrooms for each sex.
Any changes to the motion based on the conditions? We're still in agreement? Okay. All right. Ms. Nyes will be getting in touch.
Yeah, I'll follow up with you.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
Need a motion to close.
Yes, sir. Motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
Creech, and who was the second?
Great.
Thank you. Commissioner Creech?
Yes.
Commissioner Sprague?
Yes.
Commissioner Kalis votes yes. Commissioner Yednick?
Yes.
Chairman Johnson?
Yes. And now moving on to docket 2020-11, Arctic Spoon, special use for a sit-down restaurant at 371 West Dundee Road. Mr. Secretary, you're on again.
Sorry about that. I had to clear my throat. Docket 2020-11, Vince Tran, lessee, is seeking a special use as required in Title 19 zoning of the Wheeling Municipal Code, Chapter 19-05, mixed use and overlay districts, Chapter 19-10, use regulations and associated sections, in order to establish a sit-down restaurant at 371 West Dundee Road. And of course, a special use as defined in the zoning code is a use of parcel of land that requires review and consideration before approval due to the potential for negative impacts on surrounding properties. In order to be considered for a special use, the petitioner is required to demonstrate through testimony to the Plan Commission at a public hearing that the request meets the standards of the village code, including, but not limited to, how the proposed use will not damage the enjoyment or use of the surrounding properties. Prior to the public hearing, the petitioner provides written statements meant to show that the requests meet the standards for special use as established in Title 19. The commission chairperson will typically direct that these statements be entered into the record without a full reading of them at the hearing. Based upon the testimony and supporting materials submitted, the Plan Commission will make findings in support of or against the petitioner's testimony and report those findings to the village board.
Thank you. Ms. Nyes, anything on this one?
Yes, the petitioner is here today before you to request a special use for a sit-down restaurant, which is required in the MXD, Transit-Oriented Mixed-Use Zoning District. They're also, in the next docket, requesting a minor site plan and appearance approval for the outdoor seating, so that is a separate docket, but just wanted to mention that. And I guess we can just turn it over.
Okay. This is a public hearing, so I have to swear you in. You swear the testimony you're giving tonight to be the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name and business address for the record.
Good evening. Name is Vince Tran. I am one of the owners of Arctic Spoon, which is located across the street here, actually, at the town center, 371 West Dundee. This is Leanne Tang, one of the owners as well. What is Arctic Spoon, you ask, right? Arctic Spoon is it's an ice cream, bubble tea, dessert shop. What's unique about us is we do a roll ice cream concept. So it's basically a liquid base, and you put it on a machine, a freezing machine, and it rolls into almost like a ice cream consistency to be served as a roll ice cream, if you will. We also offer bubble tea and smoothies, as well as what they call egg waffles, which is an Asian type dessert. So it's we feel this is a unique concept for the community, which actually complements a lot of the restaurants and retail shops in the area, as well as the park. The Heritage Park is right across the street, great for kids that finish their sports and events and can come over and have some desserts.
We have nobody left in the audience, so any call-ins or write-ins?
No.
Okay. Well, we'll move right to the commissioners, and we'll start with Commissioner Creech.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The only, I don't have any questions for this particular part, so thank you.
Commissioner Yednick.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My question is more for the site plan and appearance approval for the outdoor eating area. Do we want to cover that now, or would we wait?
Yeah, you can go ahead and ask your questions.
Yeah, I was just curious that all we saw as far as the plan was just some illustrations of some tables and chairs. Are you planning to encapsulate your seating area? You gave an example of CityWorks, where they kind of like encapsulated their area, set up some fencing or something. Is there any plan for that? I mean, I guess I'm curious what appearance we're approving. Is it just the chairs and the tables, and that's all that's going to be out there, or are there going to be more modifications besides that?
No, there's no fencing like CityWorks. We're just gonna have tables and chairs and then umbrellas for the tables right outside the window.
And approximately how many would you plan?
We're planning, if you can see on the plan there, we are having four tables and 4 chairs for each table.
Is that the shaded area? Is it like a big square umbrella that'll cover two tables at a time?
No, it's gonna be one umbrella per table.
That's not what the note says. The note says there's a rectangular market umbrella. It looks like it's covering 2 tables. I didn't
The
catch that.
circle here is the umbrella, I think.
Yeah, but it's saying the rectangular umbrella is 10 feet by 6.5. That's what the note says.
Right, this top part, when it opens up, it covers the table.
So it is a
Right.
rectangular.
Yeah, if, you know, the 10 feet tables can, or umbrella can cover 2 tables, that's going to be the direction.
Do we have any illustration on that or coloring or style? 'Cause if we're
I
gonna-
did provide some samples that we were looking to purchase. Yeah, right there, yep.
Okay, yeah, but that's that's a circular one. Looks like you're
Oh,
doing
I see
something
what you're saying.
that's different. Okay, so,
Yeah,
The umbrella?
yeah,
Yeah, because, you know, actually, the umbrella was supposed to be on top, like, kind of going over the table. If the 10 feet umbrella opening can cover both tables, then I think that's the way to go. I can send you another picture of the different, like, looking for a square umbrella? Is that what we're looking for?
well, which one are you proposing?
Yeah, because the drawing
proposing this
shows
one?
a 10-foot by 6.5-foot umbrella, which I've never seen an umbrella like that.
It's meant to go over, like, in the table itself, like, there's a hole in the middle of the
Right,
table.
and that's not what we're seeing here.
yeah, so that would tell me that none of the picture examples we're seeing is what you're actually going to be using then.
Okay.
You're just showing us outdoor furniture then, but if you're going to plan on an umbrella through the table, then I guess we would, but your architectural drawing is showing this rectangular, a very, very large umbrella that would cover 2 tables. I was just, so do you know what your final plan is yet?
I mean, I feel like the 10 feet table will not cover 2 tables. So if that needs to be changed, we'll make that change. To get bigger
Okay.
umbrellas to cover 2 tables.
What I'm asking is that we would like to see what we're approving.
Okay. I'll make the changes to the, let me get back on that one, if I need to make the changes either to the plan or to the equipment.
And we might be able to deal with that through conditions, right?
Yeah, if the plan commission is comfortable with staff just, lining up which one, they're looking for. But does the plan commission have issues with color or style, or is the picture, the picture's a little hard to see. I think they were proposing a taupe color. It's not taupe in the picture, but,
It's like a light brown color.
I just Googled Tebow 10 by 6.5 rectangular market umbrella, and it covers 1 table. I just posted a link in the chat for the online use, but it's a 1 table umbrella.
so yeah, we can definitely work with them to get an umbrella that's going to fit appropriately.
Yeah, I personally think you'd be better off with individual umbrellas per table.
Yeah. We can definitely make that change.
With the winds that we get around here, you don't want a 10-foot sail out there.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point.
Anything else?
Yeah, well, I guess, I would be okay with deferring to staff. I think you would probably be coming to us in the future for signage. I'm sure you'd want to be probably coordinating your tables and umbrellas with your future signage. So as long as it blends, I'm personally okay with deferring to staff to just make sure it looks professional and clean and it blends in well with the rest of the tenant, the lease there. That's all I had. That's the only question I had. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Commissioner Sprague.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My questions have been answered, and I'm okay with staff continuing with the condition. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Kalis?
Same as Commissioner Sprague. My questions have been answered. No further questions. Thank you.
All right. On your floor plan, you've got 2 different seating areas, one at each end, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Can you kind of walk us through the flow of how you place the order and everything?
Yeah, so the plan is to have, coming in from the theater side, where the CMX theater is, there's an entrance. Customers will come through that door and basically walk towards the middle of the space. That's where the registers and everything else will be to take the order. And then they'll walk, basically start a line towards the back of the house, and then walk towards the front as they place the order and seeing the ice cream getting made.
Oh, okay. So the primary seating area is the one next to the entrance?
Correct, that one right there where the cursor is, yeah.
Does Arctic Spoon have other locations?
No, this is the first one.
First one?
Yep.
I mean, I've seen this type of thing, but
Yeah, it's getting popular, very
Yeah.
popular.
that's really all I had. Is the rest of the commission okay with coming up with a condition as far as individual table umbrellas and letting
Mr.
staff?
Chairman, wouldn't this be on the special use for the outdoor seating?
This
Yes, it would.
would be on the minor site plan.
Yeah, it would be on the minor site plan. You're right. So we'll hang on to that for now. Any other questions on the special use? Nope, okay. In that case, are there any conditions attached to that at this point?
No conditions.
All right, how about a motion to approve 2020-11?
So moved.
We got a tie, Commissioner Yednek and Commissioner Creech.
Commissioner Yadnick,
Yes.
Commissioner Creech,
Yes.
Commissioner Sprague,
Yes.
Commissioner Kales votes yes, and Chairman Johnson.
Yes. All right. Do we need to close this one before we talk about the other one?
Yes. I mean,
Okay,
you can close it later too if
Okay.
you want.
let's move on to PC 20-7 then, the special use minor site plan and appearance approval. Any questions from the commission just on this?
Yes, Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
we're talking about the umbrellas previously. Are the awnings on this restaurant going to be black?
Yeah, I think it's already there, the awnings, it's black color.
Well, I would like to see the umbrellas be black too as well then,
Okay.
as far as changing colors, just to keep everything more uniform. That's all I have, thank you.
Any other commissioners?
Yeah, I guess I just noticed something when I was looking at the picture. This is Commissioner Yadinak again. There's the other tenant, Mia's Cantina. Are your tables going to extend beyond their area? And Mallory or Marcy, would they need to get permission? I mean, it would seem that in order to fit 4 tables in the area that I'm looking at would be pretty tight. So, or will you be filling to the petitioner, are your tables just going to extend only up to Mia's Cantina?
That's correct.
So you're going to fit 4 tables in that small space? How are you going to do that without blocking your entry door?
If you look at that inset picture, kind of a close-up, not that one, Marcy, got the other floor plan that was down?
Now, this is the one I was looking at. Oh, okay.
This one.
That one.
Right, it'll go up to the end of the space there.
Yeah, so it goes from their entryway to the end of their space, basically.
Okay, okay, all right. No, it just, I guess the picture was deceiving to me. It looked like it was, it must be a bigger area. And you've got I'm assuming these tables are to scale.
Yeah, it's a little tight for phase 3 conditions right now.
Yeah, again, I'm ignoring the COVID conditions
Yeah.
right now. That's all I have then, Mr. Commissioner. Thanks.
Thank you.
Or
Anything
Mr.
else? All right, so we have some conditions on this then?
I have a condition, number 1, work with staff to reconcile the umbrella and table configuration layout. Do you want it to specifically say you want 1 umbrella per table?
I think so. Would you
Yeah.
agree?
We agree.
And then do you want to specify that they should be black?
I do.
I think we want them to match the awnings that are throughout the area.
I do have another question, Chairman. Does anybody remember, did Mia's Cantina get outdoor furniture approved? And if we're talking about design and colors, would it behoove us to, if it's open for discussion, obviously this is not a code thing, it's not a requirement, but if it's open for discussion, maybe they should match to kind of have some cohesive look and feel over there. Does anybody know if Mia's Cantina has outdoor furniture approved?
They do.
Can I make the suggestion that you just kind of keep that in mind and if possible to,
Yeah, I know they have outdoor seating approved. I can look for the actual
Yeah,
furniture.
I don't recall if we
I'm not sure.
had specifications on it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Been a while.
could you pull the plan up again, Luca? I have way in the back here. Yeah. This is Mia's Cantina seating, so I don't have the,
they didn't specify anything? Okay, that's more my OCD than anything. It's obviously not a requirement, but it would be nice if it was all kind of one cohesive area.
Do they-
Or maybe not, or maybe you brand it how you want, but, yeah, it's just a
so
preference.
I have, tables should be modified to each have their own umbrella, and umbrellas shall be black.
At this point, that's what we're saying, but what Commissioner Kalis is wondering is, should it try and, I don't know. I don't think it's necessary to try and match.
Yeah, never mind.
Cantina,
As I was
I don't
saying
think
that, I was realizing
Because
maybe
that gives you
they
the
all have
separation.
personality. So, strike that from the record.
Okay.
I don't need that in writing by any means.
Okay, so the condition is that we have single table umbrellas and they're black.
Correct.
Based on that, what? Go ahead.
What if Mia's Cantina doesn't want black umbrellas? Is that going to be a problem?
It's not Mia's Cantina that we're worried about right now.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
I think we scratched trying to make a match.
Yeah, because that will give them the visual separation.
Right.
Well, we're going to limit one.
Well, yeah, I agree, Mike. If we're gonna limit one, we can't limit the other. So,
Well, this is who's up now.
Yes, staff is going to have to look at what we have with Mia's, if we even have specifications for theirs. I don't recall when they came to us if they
don't
had a
either.
design.
I think it was prior to me being on the commission. I don't remember this discussion. I think this is my first outdoor seating area that I'm reviewing.
So, staff can just look and see if we have something on Mia's, and if it's not going to clash terribly. I mean, how do we?
Don't
Well, I
we have
thought-
something on the whole exterior of this, MX district? For all the outdoor?
Hold on, could we go back to the photos? Thank you.
I have a feeling the town center project didn't necessarily specify uniform outdoor seating.
No, but we did specify black signage.
And the black awnings.
You're right.
No, I don't know what City Works has. Seems like,
Google Earth.
We'll have to see if we have anything on Mia's outdoor furniture.
and if
I don't know.
not, are we gonna make them do the black, or?
I guess that, well, if we don't have a design, that means they didn't get any approval through us, correct?
Well, they got approval for outdoor seating, but I'm not sure if we approved their actual furniture. Well, actually, if you,
Sorry to hold you up.
Yeah, I don't think any of the tenants, I don't think it's a like, we haven't been specific at the town center level or any individual lessee about what their requirements are, as far as I can remember. So,
yeah, because I pulled that plan
Does
from
the
the approved
developer have
ordinance.
any requirements?
I don't think they did, but who knows? Maybe the records show otherwise.
So I wish I could share this, but I can't.
Somebody call Brad Friedman on the phone.
So actually, in the town center, well, for Mia's, showed the fabric awnings could be red or black.
Yeah, I don't think all the awnings in the whole town center are black.
No.
I seem to remember some petitioners have
The kids' ones.
branded it.
Yeah, they have red. And,
In Experience, no, that was the sign that was blue.
yeah, their sign is blue. Yeah. In the documents I found online, or with the approved ordinance for Mia's, I did not see furniture.
Okay.
And I just pulled it up again.
Does the petitioner, do you care if you have black awnings versus beige? Or do you have a branded color that you were preferring to use, or?
No, not really a preference, but to Don's point, we want to separate ourselves from Mia's.
Yeah, I mean, if you all had exactly the same umbrellas and everything, then
Okay. So then work with staff to look at Mia's and what they're going to do and do the opposite. Which is different than what I just said. But as I was saying it out loud, I'm like, well, actually, I think they should have some unique characteristics to separate themselves. So, but unless you find, Marcy, that the town center project actually has specifications of what outdoor furniture should look like, but I don't believe
They do
I
not.
ever remember hearing that.
I don't think so.
So I would personally just defer to staff to figure out a good, solution. The only thing I care about in this personally would be an umbrella per table.
Then maybe we just leave it at that.
yes, we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah,
And the
because I
chairs
just
are
looked at
metal,
the,
or
oh, sorry.
were the chairs metal or wicker or a combination? I remember we couldn't sit outside at one place recently because the chairs were metal and they were like 300 degrees. Is there
No,
a
it's,
non-metal portion of these chairs?
Rattan.
yeah, it's like a wicker type material.
Okay, great. Thank you for that as a consumer.
We do want you to come back.
Yeah. Okay, so,
So tables shall be modified to each have their own umbrella.
all right, is that good?
Great.
All right, in that case, I need a motion to approve PC 20-7.
So moved.
Second.
All right.
Who was
Commissioner
that?
Kalis votes yes. Commissioner Creech?
Yes.
Kalis and Creech.
Yeah, Kalis and Creech. Commissioner Sprague?
Yes.
Commissioner Yednick?
Yes.
And Chairman Johnson.
Yes.
5 yeses.
How quick do you think you can open?
So you will be on the June 15th Village Board meeting.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I did see that in the email, 15th.
Yeah, so we will.
June 15th?
June 15th.
Next week? Oh,
So whatever
great.
we need to work out by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. So I would just get you new drawings, sounds like, for the
So,
umbrella, for the table?
Yeah, we need to find a new table and umbrella set.
Okay.
That was the only thing. So if we could get that first thing in the morning,
In the morning, okay.
then we can
Thank you,
keep you on the
staff.
agenda.
Will do.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
And now we need a motion to close the public hearing for 2020-11.
So moved.
Kalis, who's second?
Who was second? I didn't hear who was second. Sprague? No?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Commissioner Kalis votes yes. Commissioner Sprague?
Yes.
Commissioner Yadnick?
Yes.
And Commissioner Creech?
Yes.
Chairman Johnson?
Yes. Next up is approval of minutes of the regular meeting of May 27th, 2020, including findings of fact for docket number 2020-8 and 2020-13.
Yeah, there was one edit that needed to be made.
Okay, what was that?
The meeting minutes stated that Commissioner Blanova was present remotely and she was present
Oh, she was here, yes.
So that will be updated.
Okay. No other corrections anyone spotted?
No, not
All
this
right.
time.
Then let's have a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
Second.
And another roll call.
Commissioner Yednick?
Yes.
Commissioner Creech?
Yes.
Commissioner Sprague?
Yes.
Commissioner Kalis votes yes. Chairman Johnson, I think?
What's
Yeah.
his name? Yeah. Yes.
Did I skip someone?
No.
No.
Okay, I thought I did, sorry.
It's a short list tonight. All right, other business. Ms. Nyes, anything?
Yes, I wanted to welcome our new Director of Community Development,
Oh.
Mr. Ross Clicker. He will come to a meeting here in the near future, but
What was the name? Ross?
Ross Clicker, Klicker. He started on Monday. So it's great to have him on board.
Yeah. Mallory, anything?
Nothing.
Anything new in the world of our legalities of having these meetings?
No, the governor hasn't signed that law yet, but it's anticipated to be any day now, so it's good that we're getting our practice in.
Okay.
Which law and what does that mean for us? Sorry?
So there's sitting on the governor's desk is a bill that would amend the Open Meetings Act to codify the ability to have remote meetings like this under when the governor has declared a disaster. And it sets out specific rules for those meetings. And the really biggest change that you guys would need to know about that is different than what we typically do is that everything has to be roll call versus voice vote.
Got it.
So that you're making extra careful that everyone's vote's being heard and calculated and counted. But all the other provisions we're pretty much already following.
Okay.
Any
Thank you.
other business, Commissioner Kalis?
I guess I would just follow up on that. Maybe there's not a answer for this yet, but I think I emailed Chairman Johnson about it. in the future, beyond COVID restrictions and these phases and whatnot, because we've proven it's possible to do remote meetings, Mallory or anyone else, does anybody know if it's going to be possible? Like when I go out of town, I could make time to do the meeting. I wouldn't have to be absent. I could be out of town. Is it possible in the future that we might be able to do that? Does anybody know, or is that up for discussion?
So the Open Meetings Act limits when members can participate remotely, and
Okay.
that has not been changed. So if you were able to participate remotely before, due to the limited circumstances, then you could still do so, and maybe now we can do it via video versus calling in. But it has not expanded the ability or the right to do that.
Okay.
So if you were out of town because you're on a family vacation, that wouldn't qualify. If you were out of town due to business, you could call in.
Got it. Okay, so that makes sense, because I've been away on business several times that I've missed meetings, but I could make time for these meetings.
Well, and I'll just say, although our IT staff makes this look like it's running really smoothly, you haven't seen what it's like in here with extra screens set up, a speaker set up that we're hearing you through. It's set up next to the podium. So to do it for one person would be a big hassle.
Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. As a technical person myself, I know that it looks a lot easier than it always is, so I appreciate staff for that big time, for sure. I had another question, and now it skips my mind. I'll be done then.
Okay.
I'll let you know if I remember it. Thank you.
Commissioner Sprague, any old, other business? New,
No, I have
whatever.
tonight. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Creech,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have nothing.
Commissioner Yednick,
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just have a quick technology question. If it's just me, I cannot see myself in my little square on my iPad. Can you all see yourself, and can you all see me?
Yes.
Yes.
I was working with Luca on this earlier. I'll have to let him know that I've reinstalled WebEx twice already. First time it fixed it for about a minute, but I don't necessarily need to see myself, but I just was wondering if it's just me that's having the issue. Okay, I'll work with him some more. The other question that I was curious, do we have any, or I guess maybe to phrase it this way is, at what phase would we be back to regular in-person meetings?
That was my question. Thank you.
Phase 4.
it would be phase 4.
Okay, and you guys will keep us posted when we need to show up, correct?
Yes. The prediction right now, loose prediction, is the end of this month, beginning of July would switch to phase 4. So I would put it mentally in your heads that probably
But do we still have to stay 6 feet apart? Even in phase 4?
The question is, do we still need to maintain the 6-foot thing?
Yeah.
Because then we would have to spread out and use the other side over here where at board meetings, some of the other village officials hang out.
Well, I'd have to look at what phase 4 requires. I don't know off the top of my head if they require the 6 feet distance or not, still in
Personally,
phase 4.
a spike once everybody starts getting real lackadaisical about.
Yeah.
I think we're just waiting for the spike. Everybody thinks that, oh, I can go back outside now, so I can throw away my mask and I can do everything I want.
Not yet.
I'm just saying, I don't know if we will get to phase 4. I haven't studied the conditions that closely to understand what each phase requirement is.
They haven't come out with the state hasn't come out with guidelines on phase 4 yet of what what operationally that looks like. So we'll keep you informed, and let you know what we're able to do and what the direction from the village is as well for meetings. We'll kind of take the lead. Probably.
Even phase 3 has been modified by different areas and different groups. So we'll see.
I think the remote's working well. I didn't realize, like Chairman Johnson pointed out, the back end involvement that has to take place. But that's all I had then, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
And just to note, the Village Hall is open for business again, correct, Marcy?
Correct.
Yes.
So masks are required, but they are open. The only other thing I had was I noticed the construction fence is up around Amazing Savings and, the Dunhurst West Plaza.
Yes.
So they have their demo permit, I assume, and start tearing that down?
Yeah, I think it's in the works.
All right. Anything else, anyone? Then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
I think that was Creech. Commissioner Kayla votes yes. Commissioner Creech?
Yes.
Commissioner Sprague?
Yes.
Commissioner Yednick?
Yes, good night,
Chairman
everybody.
Johnson?
Yes. Good night. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Can I
you.
help?
Right.
Good night.